Now, the likelihood of regret pretty much comes down to the level of loneliness and isolation that they have. If they have no social support, it's gonna be a little bit harder to get over you, right? And if they don't have social support, they'll come back, and that's why you have so many people go back to their exes during the pandemic, because everyone was isolated. Shit, I went back to everyone. None of them said yeah. They're like, nigga, get the fuck out of here, man. That's why I broke up with you. I'm like, all right. Right? Oh my fucking god, Father Alex is needy. He doesn't comply what he says. Shut up, Melissa. Sorry, I seemed like I smacked her. No, I didn't mean to smack you. So yeah, so the likelihood of them regretting you is one, the loneliness, right? The support system, the attachment styles, and also gender, right? Because if you're a woman, most likely you're gonna have social support, and usually women get over those relationships quicker. If you're a guy, nowadays most likely you are more isolated, and it makes it harder to get over women, right? So that's actually a real thing. I remember for me, man. And in this video, we're going to include some studies. You can click on the description down below. We're going to be including the studies in the description, okay? So that you guys can get confirmation. Because a lot of these things that I'm going to be talking about is based on studies. I remember it used to take me like 2 or 3 years to get over someone. My issue was when I like someone, I liked them, but I couldn't find people that I liked too much. But when I liked them, I became obsessed, right? I think I have an obsessive personality. See, that's the first thing, right? It's the attachment styles. And the support system. Now let's talk about this, right? If the person had an emotional connection with you, what would happen is that the way they're gonna think of you when they regret losing you is, like I said in my previous videos, eye contact. They're gonna be looking, when they think of you, they're gonna be looking at that eye contact. They're not just gonna be, looking at your body or this or that. You guys are not gonna be eating fucking tacos. No, you can literally, the person is literally gonna have a vision of this, literally. This bullshit, that's what you see in animes, right? Where, anyways, if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, you want to make your ex regret losing you, you want to get over an ex, you want to get somebody to like you, you don't know how to act around them, book a call with me, motherfucker. Like, you want them to leave you, you want them to break up with you, like, y'all only call me when Father Alex, they broke up with me and they say never call me again. How do I get them? You should have called me earlier. How about that, okay? So click on the description down below there. You can purchase 10-minute sessions, 15-minute sessions, up until 1-hour sessions. My availability is very flexible, right? So if you guys need to talk to me today, I'll find a way to talk to you today. And above all, you guys will get honesty from me. I'm not gonna give you the dating advice that your therapist gives you, because they give the most horrible dating advice. Listen to them about life, but not dating advice. I'm not gonna tell you sugarcoat it like your friends do. I'm gonna give you raw, real truth from my honest opinion. All right. So if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, click on the description down below, or else they'll leave you. I'm using scare tactics. You tend to see this in animes, where the hero, when he's recalling somebody he loves, they see them like that. And the reason why is because the brain craves oxytocin when we trust someone, right? We crave it. And that craving is manifested in our desire to make eye contact, because eye contact releases oxytocin, which means is that your brain wants to reconnect with the person. But because the person is not in front of you, it satisfies itself by creating an image of you and interacting with it, like a dog playing with, like a dog humping a freaking poor little toy, right? That's the first thing. By the way, isn't that crazy that a dog would hump something that is not moving? Don't you think that's creepy? Like, it's not. Is it just me? Okay, little golden creepy retrievers out there. So if there's an emotional connection, they're gonna make eye contact with you, and that desire is gonna be like a kid missing his mom, like a kid, like a girl missing his dad. It's gonna be a desire for connection. And that usually happens when you guys had a relationship, or if the person that you were with was kind of was a freaking psycho and fell in love with you on the first date. Okay? Now, if you guys didn't have a connection, the way they're gonna think of you when they regret losing you is that they're gonna imagine you having sex with someone, right? For example, like me, when my ex broke up with me, all I thought about was Tyrone clapping them cheeks. and I felt anger. I'm like, where the fuck is Tyrone at? Hey man, I'm with your girl, and she's happy right now, man. She don't need your help right now, you know. And so if there's no emotional connection, what will happen is that you're just gonna think about, you know. But then if you're women also say this, that they start thinking about the guy being with another woman, and it makes them angry, right? So remember, if they had an emotional connection, eye contact. If they had no emotional connection, but it was lust, clapping cheek sounds, people. Okay, that's exactly what they're gonna be thinking. And what's gonna happen is that vision is different. The vision that you have when you fall in love with the person is usually fuzzy, and different colors like this. By the way, I'm selling this painting. This is a pastel painting. Took 20 hours to make. I gotta frame it. I'm selling it for $2,000 if anybody wants to purchase it. I'm gonna be promoting it all month long. Pretty much, I gotta sell my art. I don't usually sell my art because I don't want to, but I'm gonna start selling it. This is like a Mexican girl from Mexico, right? So yeah, it's pastel. No artist in the world could paint something like this with pastels, pastel pencils, people. All right, $2,000 plus shipping and framing. I'll ship it anywhere in the world that you are. Okay, so yeah, they think of clapping cheeks, but look, the vision that they have is fuzzy like that, right? When they love you, they think of a fuzzy vision, right? If you notice, this is fuzzy compared to that, which is more contrasting. This is more fuzzy, okay? But when there's lust involved and they're missing you because of the sex, the vision is intense. It is vivid. It has a lot of colors, and there's an intensity. Like there's the vision of love, fuzzy, and like you're in the clouds. Vision of lust, intent, freaking sweaty, and colors, and red, and vibrancy, and sweat, all that kind of stuff. It's like a freaking porn scene in the mind, right? And that creates an intense level of jealousy. The first one creates longing. I miss you. The other one creates jealousy, anger, passion, right? Like some evil type of shit, man. Berlin type of stuff, man. It's crazy. The next one is that they're gonna compare you to someone else, and the other person's never gonna be enough. For example, when my ex broke up with me, the first girl, I remember no girl was hotter than her. I don't know how the fuck I thought that, to be honest with you. The devil is a lie for sure. But you start thinking of that. You create the illusion that no one compares to you. So when they go on dates, they're gonna look at a girl, they're just gonna say, it's not her, you know. And women also do the same, you know, where they just want to be with the person. And so when they date, you're always gonna win. You're always gonna look like the better option. You're always gonna look like the one that they lost. So it doesn't matter who they meet. I feel bad for the person who meets you after somebody breaks up with you, because you're always just going to compare them and they're never going to match up. And that unsatisfaction of not matching up to your ex makes you disregard the person who's in front of you. And it's kind of similar to this. Imagine that you smoke weed and you're used to eating with weed, right? Now you got to eat sober. It's kind of similar to that. Or let's just say you're used to drinking soda with your food, and now you got to drink water. It has a similar sensation. You're like, man, fuck this water, man. That shit don't taste the same, man. I want some Coca-Cola, right? The next one is that what tends to happen is that, and this happens with even if you have lust or genuine love, is that your brain starts doing the highlight reel BS, where it'll even include some fucking Disney movie song, right? You start to imagine all the fun time you had. You imagine you guys walking together, holding hands, like all of that, the highlight reel of the relationship your brain will create. Why? Because your brain is craving the person's presence. It's craving it. So when there's a craving, the brain communicates its cravings through mental images. It makes you want it, right? And the reason why that is because it's very primal. That's how kids crave. You think a freaking baby says, I want food? No, them little motherfuckers imagines the food. Imagines mama with the fucking spoon, and he imagines the spoon, and then he starts crying. Right? The cravings create mental images, right? Because that's when you're a kid. Before that, it's a physical sensation, and then it turns into a mental image, and then as you develop, it creates the thought of wanting that, right? But it's the highlight reel, and that highlight reel will keep playing until they're over you. The next one is that if they took you for granted, they'll realize their mistakes. One of the things is that when you leave someone, if it was their fault and they're not narcissistic, they're gonna realize the errors of their ways. Nothing makes people reassess themselves than losing something because they fucked it up. Nothing makes people see their errors of their ways than leaving them. Nothing. People usually, when they go to prison, that's when they start seeing how the fuck they finally got there. That's when they start saying, you know what, man, I gotta fix my life. As they're in prison with fucking Bob the prisoner, right? So they start realizing their mistakes. And if they genuinely made mistakes, they'll come back to you and they'll say, hey, daddy. I'm kidding. Hey, I know I made this mistake. I'm gonna try to work on it. And whenever you have people who come back to you because of their mistakes and they come back humbled, take them back. But give them one more shot. Just one more shot. Because if they fuck up again, then now you're seeing a pattern, and it won't stop. Actually, it won't stop. The patterns won't stop. The next one is that they tend to realize that how much they depended on you. Especially guys, right? Let me tell you guys this, man. And this is why I tell guys, us as guys, we have to, because women are different about this, right? Women are different. We have to be around people. You can't be an antisocial dude. It's creepy to women. Okay, you got to be around people, and this is what studies show. And this is very interesting. It shows that, and I'm gonna leave the studies in the comments down below. Men often appear less affected immediately following a breakup, showing fewer outward emotions of distress compared to women. However, they may experience significant emotional turmoil beneath the surface. Research indicates that men might suppress their emotions initially, only confront them later, often when triggered by memories or events. So they're home, they're sleeping, they're looking up in the mirror, and then we start to imagine our ex. And then all of a sudden, all those emotions that you were suppressing comes back. Men are more likely to engage in activities that distract from their emotional pain, such as focusing on work, sports, or seeking new relationships, right? And so what you might see, you might think that this person might not regret losing you because they're busy, they're happy. But us as guys, we sort of use distraction. And honestly, this makes it, I don't like it because this makes it look bad. It works. Studies show that guys don't process emotions the same as women. Women have an easier time processing emotions through verbal speech. Men have an easier time processing emotions through a physical movement. And for some reason, the culture today just seems to be so offended that guys tend to process feelings through their physical movement, and they don't have to go to freaking Jake the therapist, who's speaking softly and who's from fucking Seattle, and you're like, oh, speak to me about your feelings, Tyrone the man. It's like, motherfucker, what? Like, yo, what's a punching bag? And put yourself in front of it. How about that? Like, it's the culture will regret. It's how the world is. I can't really resent it. In fact, I do therapy. It's actually not that bad, but I just know that it's not for everyone, and I can promise you a lot of guys resent the social pressure to do this shit, man. You have all these, let me not even go there, man. I just don't like it when it becomes a trend, because trends go away. It's just trendy, and you just gain social points by saying you do that shit. Like, I just hate that. I hate when people genuinely talk about therapy in a way to get their social points. What the fuck? So yeah, they cope differently, right? And so that's why when you as a guy, when you break up with a girl and she doesn't react, that's not a good sign, bro. If she doesn't react, it might be harder for her to get over you. But if she reacts in the moment and she cries for the next few days, that's when you should be scared, because she's in the process of forgetting your ass, man. Right? Okay, so yeah, they realize how much they're dependent on you. When you leave, people habituate, and they don't notice how much they're really starting to depend on you. That's something that's really interesting. They don't notice how much they're depending on you for comfort, how much they're used to you sleeping with them, how much they're used to seeing you here. Like, honestly, like, you don't notice yourself getting addicted to things until the substance goes away. And then you literally pick up your phone, and then you almost instinctively call them, and you're like, oh shit, they broke up with me. Like, it's almost like when a family member dies, one of the things that happens is that a lot of people who experience the death of a family, I never experienced it, thank God, but they usually like instinctively call them, but then they realize they're gone, but their phone is there. Well, you know they won't pick up. That's really sad, you know. Um, and that is shows you how much you're really dependent on them. That shows you how much of your habits relied on them. And you notice that immediately, especially if they lived with you or you left them or you were a big part of their lives. You notice that immediately. You notice that, especially when you have a low moment. Let's just say you lost your job or freaking, you know, some shit happens, right? You start to realize how much you depended on them. And that's the beauty. That's why you got to give people space, because sometimes they don't know how much they truly depend on you. And you're making it hard for them to see it because you're so suffocating. Right? And that's how people think when they regret losing you, man. This is why people tend to come back to each other, especially if you guys had great chemistry. Usually great chemistry is also a big reason why people come back to you, because the chemistry was so good, so intense, that they come back to it like a drug, like a habit. Even if you're toxic, they'll come back to you, you know. All right, guys, we're gonna have a brief intermission so that I can tell you guys about our new bundle that we're doing, where you guys can purchase all of my courses and get it at a discount. So this bundle is pretty much the bundle where you could just buy all of my courses. You could buy Nice Guy, which is a training course on how to come across more assertive, how to come across more confident, how to not give off nice guy vibes. You guys can get access to Dark Game, which is my full dating course on how to meet women in different scenarios, how to attract women, how to make sure you don't come across as creepy, and essentially how to act like a man and not act like a doofus, to be quite honest with you. And you get all of these bonuses, which is the bonuses of Dark Game, the bonuses of Practical Mastery, which is about how to master a skill, Social Mastery, which is how to master your social life, and the Laws of Human Nature, which is a book club video that I had dissecting Robert Greene's book. All of this is naturally at around naturally is at $346, but you guys can purchase this bundle and get it at what's the price again? Get it at $238 pretty much. So you guys can purchase it right now. It's a money back 30-day money back guarantee. It's a good way to, rather than just buying them individually and paying extra, you guys can just purchase everything at a discount price. Now, the only thing I don't like is the fact that I'm giving you a lot of information at the same time. That makes me kind of scared, because a lot of times people don't do the things that I teach when you get too much information. But I've gotten too many requests to do this, so I'm just satisfying you guys. Purchase it right now by clicking on the description down below where it says purchase the bundle. All right, let's continue with the video.